Take one.
Hello, Grégoire.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. You have your perfect Swiss British accent?
I don't think I have an accent. I don't know.
Oh, so you're the founder, for the people who don't know you, you're the founder of Bakehouse.
Yes.
So Bakehouse was created, you started out in 2013
Correct.
as a wholesale bakery.
Yes.
And in 2018, you opened your first shop in Wanchai.
Yes.
So my first question is, I know it's a bit of a philosophical question. What is success to you?
That's indeed a big philosophical question. I think success for me is in two parts. I think one part, and is maybe with the age and growing older and maybe wiser or not, I don't know, but I hope so, is to be able to empower the people around me and pass on my skills to the next people. That is succeeding in my purpose in what I'm doing. And the other purpose is to be useless in my company because I'm lazy.
Okay.
In a sense where I want to be with people that are extremely professional and that can lead the charge by themselves. That's success. If you succeed in doing this, you're fairly good.
So, where are you now?
Nearly there.
Nearly there.
Nearly there,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. And what's striking in your experience is that you didn't really want to be an entrepreneur. I mean, you didn't plan all this, or I just feel that what feeds your energy from what I see is your passion for doing things well with the heart.
Yes. I wasn't probably born an entrepreneur, and my passion has always been bakery, pastry, chocolate, ice cream, and all this. This is my world. And when there was always the thought of having my own shop one day, because it's probably a chef's ego thing, it's my name is me, yeah, I'm a big chef, and then you always have this as a chef, and I had this, and I said, oh, one day I'm gonna have my bakery, and eventually it happened by meeting my partner Fred, and when we started, I was still in my mindset of being a chef in a hotel with I must have a nice jacket and I must be this and that. But then you learn the hard truth of running your own business where you don't have a safety net.
Yes.
And then you learn by fire. You learn how it hurts when something fails. And then you learn and you stand up again and you go again and so on. And then I guess I took pleasure in pain. And then I'm like, this is actually awesome, like when we enable something else happened. This is so cool. Let's go. And today we're here.
It's funny because the previous guest I had on the podcast, she said, embrace the pain. So it's kind of similar to what you're saying.
I mean,
yeah. And just work-wise, right?
Yeah, work-wise.
And outside of, like, you were telling about this ego thing, opening a shop, like for a chef. But what about passion also? Is it something that drives you?
Yeah.
Either for achieving something or also for food, or
this is passion is unrelated
okay.
to business.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cows, they're passionate about eating grass. they have passion. They're like, yeah, grass, oh, the train, and so on. And passion is the thing you have inside you, and it's you and the product. So by default, for me, it's not even a question that we deliver a great product. And the entrepreneurship part is putting this in motion. So it's two different things. But if you don't have passion,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Because otherwise you won't go through the pain that is waiting for you after.
Correct, yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
You told me that 95% of your plan, of what happened, was not planned, and actually, initially you wanted to be like to sell basically bread to restaurants, which was a like a good plan, very simple, no hidden agenda, making good bread for restaurants. Actually, things turned out very differently. So how
Yes.
does this happen?
Well, we started with the idea of supplying hotels and restaurants with better bread, knowing the industry inside out. So working for hotels, restaurants in Hong Kong for many years. This year is the 25th year I'm here. And so we kind of knew there was a need for these better products, a different level of products. And we were right, and it started very, very well. And at some point, people were always asking, why we cannot buy your product in a shop? Like, you only supply hotels, restaurants, but we want your product. So we thought, okay, well, let's open a small shop. And then we hunted for somewhere with a cheap rent. And when we opened, we are like, let's not take too much risk, because if it doesn't work, then let's not lose too much. And then we opened, and then it exploded in a good way.
The first year, like the first shop.
Yeah, after 2 weeks.
After 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
then it was this was a really painful moment when we opened the first shop, because with my chef Sigo, I said, okay, the things we do for restaurant hotels is this, the shop is the shop, the shop is the shop. So we are going to do everything in the shop. And it's very small, and we were sold out before lunchtime. And then people were saying, oh, it's great, but every time we go, there is nothing to buy. And it kept coming, like from people will queue 30 minutes before we open the door in the morning to make sure they had the seat and they had the product. So we thought, how do we do this? And then like, this is when my chef's mind started to break down and say, okay, we have this central or like production bakery in Taiwan. We need a leverage on this. And then so we started to prepare some layered dough, frozen dough for the croissant. And then we little by little we started to say, okay, we were baking each bread for the sandwiches for lunch in the shop. So it's like there, yes, and then so we have 15, and then it's gone in 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden we have 60 because we baked it in Taiwan. Okay. And I mean, it's stupid, but it's just a matter of your mind needs to change from being a Michelin, bonjour, to let's run a business.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect your quality.
And how do you work with your partner, Fred?
Yeah.
What's he, do you have, because I met a lot of like entrepreneurs like duo, and sometimes they are quite similar and they manage to communicate well. Sometimes they have very different skill set. So what about you and Fred?
So we didn't know each other from the beginning. It was we met through the hotel, and it's a
Does he challenge you sometimes? Or you challenge him?
We both challenge each other. So basically, we are like yin and yang, like we are the opposite of each other. And I mean, when you first attend one of our discussions, maybe you are scared.
Yeah? Why?
Because we
You're very direct?
throw arguments at each other on the yes, the no, the why, and I am the product, image, quality
Yes.
part, branding, and so on, and he's the model, efficiency, finance,
Okay. Logistics and
dynamic
stuff. Yeah.
part, IT, logic, and everything. And we both learn from each other a lot, and we still today, we are very much aligned on everything. And what made us successful is our maturity or wisdom into not taking this personally, but it's just business. So when we talk about a topic, we are so critical on the matter that we destroy, we deconstruct every matter into bits and pieces from 360-degree angle. We smash it, and then we sleep on it, and the next day we're like, you're right, this is good.
Yeah.
And then I think we do this, we do that, and then we make our decision, and it's such an informed decision. It's really something that helped us to be 11-year-old today and extremely successful. Because if I was just sitting here and say, this is your part of the job, I don't want to hear about it, and if you will do the same with me, I will go my chef way and do things covered in gold, and he will say, it's too expensive, and then we will fight, and then it wouldn't work.
So it's funny because you kept talking about the chef's way, and it's all about, like you said, ego, or like putting gold everywhere. Like,
Oui.
what is it? It's quite funny, but quite sarcastic way of describing it.
Correct. Yes. I think it's very difficult or rare to have the mind that can understand running a business, scaling a business, modeling a business, data analytics, and so on, and being a chef and doing like bonjour, like which means fancy stuff, great stuff, great food.
Yes.
If your mind is able to put these two together and stay true and authentic to what is your belief and your products, and don't deviate and say, we could take a shortcut and use blah blah blah, and just don't do that. Stay true to yourself, your goal, and your business goal. Sometimes there is, I can tell you, there is a lot of tempting things that comes our way, where I could be on a nice island in the Pacific at the moment, but I'm not interested. We are not interested in this because we have a lot of fun doing what we do.
I guess that's the most important thing. This is something I was telling to a friend lately, and I was telling her, you know what? All of this is a game. Doesn't mean I don't take things seriously, but just it's all a game. It's fine. You're gonna be fine. Everything is going to work out well. You just don't know when or how. But if you have a goal and you put in effort and work and everything, it's kind of a game. Like even meeting people is like, I don't know.
I was talking to my son who's working in the office over there in the corner for before university, and yesterday during lunch I told him, all this is a game with a set. I said that is a game with a set of rules, and once you know the rules, you need to learn how to dance with it, then you play the game.
Exactly.
And it's extremely true.
Yeah.
It's extremely true. Yeah.
And because you said the success is, well, you have a successful partnership with Fred, which is a big asset for the growth of the business. And you said when you opened the first shop, in the first 2 weeks, it was a success. So what's the element, like why, of course, I guess you got that question already, but what's the secret recipe? What's the thing? Because, okay, between us, it's bread, you know? I'm not saying it's
I'm
not,
ready.
no, but it's like,
yes.
what's the difference?
So
Especially for Western influenced business.
So there is like you said before about passion, and for me the quality of the product is a given. It's not something you ask yourself, are we going to do quality or not, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do average things because we love being mediocre, you know. You don't do that. Your integrity is your product. My whole life was working in the best hotels and restaurants around the world with all the awards and the stars you want. And there was no reason I will deviate from this discipline, you know, integrity, discipline towards the product. So that's a given. After is how you deliver this to the people. And the how, there is a lot of intangible, and it starts with the way you treat your customer and the way you receive them in your shop. You've probably been to our shop once or twice, and
more than that.
Thank you. For us, having a good-looking shop that everywhere you look at is a potential Instagram photo. Everything you look at, everywhere. It goes from your light, your cables. Don't leave your cables hanging like this.
So you think this is not professional?
Conceal them. Use Wi-Fi. Use wireless. No, I'm joking for here, but for the shop it has to look very nice.
Yeah.
And then the smell, the cleanliness, the light, the music volume, but also the type of music. And then the people who engage with you, they look at you in the eyes, they smile, and then they say, hi, how are you today? What can I get you? Do you want to try this? This is new. And we have a personal connection. And I think this is something that we've learned working in five-star hotel industry, the hospitality, and it's intangible, and you need to create a culture in your company. And we invest a lot at the moment on building a very strong culture to carry on this behavior in our shops.
I also saw, what I observed in five-star hotels and like high-end places like that is that what works well to create this connection is to really play on the five senses, like this. Like, it's because of course it's the taste, but it's obviously the smell. You just said music, you said the look of so it's everything. Yes,
it's everything, and it's also you as a human. How do you like to be treated? You have a minimum of dignity, right? And when I walk into a random shop, which is quite often in Hong Kong, where the person doesn't even look at me, look at her phone playing Candy Crush or another game, I don't know, I don't play these games, and goes like, and then I leave, and I'm like, I have zero respect. I'm just using this as a commodity. Just I need to buy tissue. I buy tissue and then I leave. Talking about 7-Eleven.
It's not an experience.
No brand. So just saying, if you walk into one of our shop and you're being well received, treated, spoke to, you get a great value for money, good products, and then you eat it and you're happy, you're satisfied. Like, I'll come back. I like it.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah. So if anyone had a bad experience, you can send him an email. No joke.
Yes, please.
No,
Yeah.
that's not true.
No, we listen to every concerns, complaint, everything, and we address it and we fix it.
And what if everything would stop tomorrow? What would you
Everything.
do? Like,
The earth.
no, your business, bakehouse.
Oh.
Because for you know, this is also the game with entrepreneurs. Like, we are like, maybe tomorrow everything could stop.
So there is different level of everything stops. There is a level where the moon crashes on Earth and it freezes. Then nothing I can do. Oh, we can't do much. Then if it's the business collapse for some reason, maybe whatever, we can't have our ingredients anymore and it needs to change. I think I would sit down on the rock, think for a little while, and start something else.
Okay.
I think I'm still I'm not that young, but I'm still young enough to carry on with something else.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Like that. And so everything is not going to stop. Well, I hope for you, but it doesn't look like it.
Correct.
So what about you told me a little bit about the plans, expansion plans. Can you talk a little bit more about this?
Yes. So we have currently 5 shops and the wholesale bakery and this office. And we are nearly 300 staff today. And we are opening 5 more shops in the next 18 months.
Oh, so you're doubling.
It's less than 18 months now, but
Wow.
yeah. By the end of 2025, we'll have 10 stores for Hong Kong. Or maybe 9 in Hong Kong and 1 in Macau. Let's see. So something like this for the region. And this is a blueprint of our brand.
Okay.
So it's a factory that prepares the dough, and then the shops bake it fresh all day, and there's nothing hidden, nothing we're ashamed of. It's all clear and beautiful.
And have you planned to expand outside Hong Kong?
So at the moment we are looking at this.
Okay.
I just came back from a trip to Korea where we met some people, and we have a lot of interest from basically all the countries in Asia Pacific and in Europe as well.
In Europe as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
and in the US as well. And we prioritize Asia Pacific first because of the distance. So it's easier to go to travel. And yeah, there is Thailand, the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, China. Everyone is like, hey, come. And Singapore, sorry. Everywhere is like, come on, open here. And we, just like when we started, we're not, we don't know how to do this yet. And we haven't done this yet, just like when we open a shop. So we are going to work on it and hire the right specialist to help us with international expansion.
I was about to ask you that. Do you have, I guess maybe you're talking to like investors or all these people. Well, if you don't have you have the experience and also you're a team of 2 to make those decisions, but you need maybe advisors or because it's like a big thing to do that, to expand.
So we found out the hard way that when you start when you're a startup, you know very well, and we also know it. You start with yourself and some people, and everyone is doing everything. And then as you grow and expand, then you start to hire specialists in their field. We need a specialist in HR. We need a specialist in marketing. We need a specialist in sales, in supply chain, and so on. And so every time you go to the next step of your business, you find the next level of specialists you need. And then some people are able to understand growth and scalability, and some people aren't, and then you move on. And that's a normal process of growing.
Yeah.
And so if you ask Fred and me about, what do you guys think about international expansion? We go like, oh yeah, I think Japan is great. And it's just us and our thought, but we need professionals to do this.
Yeah. But interesting chapter to come.
Yeah. A lot of exciting plans and things is coming.
And so now we're like 10 years later, 10 years after you started, 11 years? 11 years?
Yeah.
So I guess your day-to-day has changed a lot since then.
Oh, yeah.
So my question is as when you started, I guess you were more hands-on.
Yeah.
Now you focus, it's funny also, we started talking about success and you were like, success is also when you don't have to do anything,
Correct.
And you can share and pass on your knowledge and what you're good at. So what makes you get up in the morning now?
Nothing. No, I'm kidding. By all the plans we have. So I'm still driving the product. So product development is my task in the company. And everything that is R&D around the product. When you expand in such a scale, there is new problems that arise. Like it's different if you run a bakery where you make 10 croissants and 10 baguettes, and then when you make multiple shop, it's always the same question. It's volume and quality. Can you reconcile both? And the immediate answer is no. And the long answer is there is a way to do something that works. So that's why I wake up in the morning. But I'm also super excited every day to come here and meet the team who have very positive energy, and everyone wants this to move forward.
Oh, cool.
And I'm happy to see these people every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can see the energy and the blue color everywhere here. It's nice.
Yeah, it's the brand.
And last question. So this is like the signature question I ask all my guests. Can you give me 2 or 3 lessons or tips that you learned throughout your experience as an entrepreneur? Because other entrepreneurs are listening to us, or maybe future ones as well, and they might be scared to start their business. So what would you like to tell them?
The word you just used, scared, don't be scared.
Okay.
Like, have the guts and the courage of doing what you thought, and understand that if you don't try, you'll never know.
True.
So even if it hurts or it fails, but there is a chance it succeed. And if it does, you'll look at it 10 years later and be like, oh, I'm glad I did it. Or if you fail, it's like, well, I tried.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
And you have to have this positive mindset of doing. So that's a very important thing.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a good advice.
Other advice, I will say you need to be very careful who you trust.
To surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah, I think trust is a word that is often misunderstood. And building trust with your people, building trust with your customers, building trust with your suppliers is the whole value of your business. Humans, unless you're a, I don't know, not even if you're a cryptocurrency trader alone,
I think trust.
you have to trust someone.
Yeah, I think it's the base of. It might sound like silly, but I think it's just the base of absolutely everything we do every day. Even you buy food, you trust this place to be legit.
Yeah, I trust the bus driver when I go in.
Is only trust for everything.
Yes, and it sounds stupid. At first, you're like, of course, honey, it's normal. Trust is taken for granted until you get burned by experiences,
Yes.
and you're like, okay, maybe I should think this through. Maybe I should think on it, sit on it, and think it through. Is this right? Is this really right? And so act on your ideas and understand trust is very important in entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Grégoire.
You're
you
welcome.
very much.
Very happy. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
I have to.